Okay, so just making a quick little video on brake caliper season up. A new brake caliper season up. So, say maybe a month ago, I had an old brake caliper and really rusty. Didn't look very good. Seized up on me, and when I was on my way home from work, and I tried all kinds of stuff to try and get it broke loose, and it would not come loose. I ended up having to get a crowbar and pry it off and try to be real careful not to damage anything. And I got it off and went and bought a new one, put it on, started driving. Everything seemed okay. It kind of seemed like it was pulling a little to the left. This is the front right. Kind of seemed like it was pulling to the left while I was braking, but I didn't really have a lot of time to work on it. I figured, oh, it's working. Kind of see what happens. So, long story short, coming home from work yesterday, and of course it seized up on me again. And I knew one of them seized up because I could feel it dragging while I was driving. I got home, went around, felt the tires, and the rim on this one was extremely hot. So I thought to myself, well, I don't know why it's doing that because I already replaced the caliper. I could see maybe if it was on the other side, but did a little research, and apparently these hoses that go from the metal line, the flex hose goes all the way down and hooks into the back of the caliper, and they can deteriorate and clog even though they're not leaking on the outside and completely seem fine on the outside. So I figured that out because I took the bleeder valve off today when I got time to work on it. This is a valve right here. This is just a rubber piece. If I can get it off. Oh man. Just a rubber piece. Unscrews. And then you can manually push the caliper open. If it's not like seized to where you can't get it to budge even though you're relieving the pressure. But I opened that up and I was able to push this open pretty easily once I got that open. When it was still sealed and hooked to the hose, it wouldn't budge. So once I unscrewed that, pried it off, fluid came out. I was like, okay, so the caliper is fine. So I thought, well, maybe it's the hose. So I took the hose off and I put my mouth on one end and tried to blow, and I could not get any airflow whatsoever. None. So if you can hear the new one I have not put on yet, right here. See if I can put that to where you can hear it when we blow on one end. So you should be able to blow through it with just the pressure from your mouth, which this one you can. That one, nothing. Not even a little dribble. Nothing. So what I think happened is suddenly it was able to get some pressure through. When I put on the brake, it closed, and then it could not relieve the pressure to get this back open. So if anybody's got a new caliper put on and it seizes up on them and they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on, you know, that's probably what's wrong with it. I mean, I guess there could be a clog up further, but you can do the old blowing one in test once you get the whole thing off. The only reason I got this screwed back on there now is because it was dripping fluid everywhere, and I just kind of put it on there to keep it from leaking all my fluid out while I went and got the new one. Now if you undo this bleeder and you can't get it open whatsoever, chances are it's probably seized up, the piston's seized up. Which, I mean, they have rebuild kits and everything. I don't ever get into the depth that deep when doing it. I always just go buy. This is a rebuild one that I bought, and they do have a core charge on these, kind of like a battery. So just take those off. It's screwed in back here. Kind of goes in like that. Has these little clips. They just slide in and out and keep it held in the bracket. Same thing up here. That line unscrews, comes out, and then you can take the whole thing off. Not going to actually show you me doing it, and I apologize for that. I've had comments before with people complaining about that, but I'm just doing this on a cell phone, and I don't like working with one hand. I don't have anybody else to hold it for me. So I apologize. I just hope my videos that I make every now and then make life easier for somebody working on their own vehicle. So that's it. Hope it helps. Have a good day.